Hey everyone, Monday night. Welcome to another edition of Mondays with Miller. And special time this Monday. I'm on a family trip. We came out here to Jamestown and Williamsburg, and we're actually staying at the Great Wolf Lodge. What a great opportunity! And nothing more important than connecting with family and being able to spend some of that time. So, what I wanted to do this week is instead of talking about the 21 laws of leadership, let's focus on the most important skill that every leader, every human being has to have in order to be an effective human being. I mean, honestly, is connecting with others, right? So this week, very important. Thanksgiving holiday. It's by far my favorite holiday of the year. Since I've had kids, it's certainly there's obviously other holidays that are um, encroaching upon that gap. But I love Thanksgiving, and so what a great time to practice some of your connecting skills. So let's talk about this. This is from John Maxwell's "Everyone Communicates, Few Connects." I'm going to take 5 practices and principles from that book, and just talk through them real quickly for you, and hopefully you pick one, and practice it for this week with that one relative or one friend where you may have not so much of a great connection with them. So first of all, connecting, right? You have to find common ground in order to connect with any other person. You have to find the common ground, and John talks about this very easy acronym called FORM: family, occupation, recreation, mission. And it's critical to think about just easy questions, right? Questions, observations, so you have a better understanding of that person. What's their family life? What's their family background? Large family, small family? Do they have children? Occupation. What is it that they wake up every day to put food on their plates? Recreation. What do they do outside of work? Are they runners? Do they like to be on trails? Are they part of any clubs, book clubs, quilt clubs? I mean, whatever it is. And then obviously mission. Mission is so important. Do you have a like-minded mission with others? So I always recommend, number one, find that common ground. And it's a choice. It's a choice to see how you find common ground with others, because it means you've got to get off of your own agenda and on someone else's, right? So the choices are being available, listening, being humble, right? Humility is a huge choice in life. Being open, being likable, asking questions. These are all choices that great connectors make. Think about anybody in your life who has great influence over you. That's not your boss and not someone who's a blood relative. Someone who's a great influence on you. Think about those skills. They are always available. They're always asking questions. They're always more worried about you than you are of yourself, some for, right? They have the ability to make sure that their focus is on their inner circle, not necessarily themselves. So we're still in the first practice. So finding that common ground. The barriers to finding common ground are faulty assumptions, right? People who have faulty assumptions, people who have control issues, folks that are arrogant or indifferent. All right, these are the barriers to connecting with other people. So practice and principle number one is finding common ground. The best skill is form, family, occupation, recreation, mission. Ask those questions. Listen to understand, not to reply. Okay, and be present in the conversation and find that common ground. Number two, it's a learned skill. Connecting with others is a learned skill. And what I mean by that is that, first of all, you have to understand that connecting increases your influence in every situation, right? And by honing, by practicing the skill of connecting with others, you're going to gain credibility just from what I've already talked about. The whole being available, right? Being there, being open, being vulnerable, listening to understand creates credibility. And when it's a practice skill, a learned skills, what I mean is that you have great connectors reflect upon previous conversations. They reflect upon their observations and they also practice. They practice their connecting with other people. Right? They're constantly reaching out. Right? Constantly reaching out. Number two, it goes beyond words. Okay, so we're still in the part where it's a learned skill. It goes beyond words. So when I say, think about your thoughts, okay, your actions and your emotions. Right, think about those three parts. Goes beyond words. If I were to ask you or just visualize a pie graph in terms of those three practices, thoughts, actions, and emotions, right? What percentage of each of those three is actually is important to the communication, right? So think of your pie graph. So when I think of thoughts, right, those are the words that you use. Your emotions is your tone of voice, and your actions is your body language. And research shows that only 7% of the words that you use is actually what is communicated in a conversation. 7% of the words that we use, 38% is our tone of voice, our emotion, and 55% is our body language. Think about that when you're trying to connect with other people. Are you looking over top of them? Are you staring at your phone? Are you checking your phone? Has your tone of voice changed in terms of, trying to prove your point? All right, very, very critical aspects when you're thinking about connecting with others is a learned skill. You have to know your audience, all right? In whether it's a small group, large group, or one-on-one, have an understanding of your audience. How well do they receive, right? How how well do they receive? But in a sense of, if you're speaking to a group, how much time did you take to walk through the audience, walk slowly through the audience, introduce yourself, and ask them, what do they want to learn today? It's not about what you think you need to say, it's what your audience needs to hear. And the only way that you can know that is if you take the time to walk through your audience. So if you're a speaker or you're presenting or you have a meeting today, greet the people coming to your meeting at the door. Notice if they have any body language, if they're tense, if something looks, appears wrong. When I was a teacher, that was our goal was to treat every student at the door and to see if they had, could we pick up some, vibes of that middle school student that day, right? And so, we can make sure that their class is better. Okay, so know your audience is part 3. And also know who you are. You have to know who you are, how your actions, how your words are perceived by others. This is very, very important because you can't lead anybody until you lead yourself. So that means taking an inventory of who you are, how you speak, what your actions say, right? Because sometimes your actions speak so loudly I can't hear a word that you're saying. As Ralph Waldo Emerson, I believe. So really, really important. So a learned skill, right? So know who you are, know the audience. It goes beyond words, and it increases influence, right? So very, very important. So that's practice number 2. So far we talked about finding common ground, which is the foundation for everything, and understanding that connecting is a learned skill. The third is that it takes energy and focus, right? You've got to prepare. You got to prepare, so you can create clarity and keep it simple. Don't speak above people. Talk to them, not above them. Very, very important. You've got to make conversations safe. This is something that I've really tried to study lately. How do you make conversations safe? How do you make a room safe? How do you make other people feel safe? It starts by listening, right? And getting off your own agenda and understanding, right? Understanding other people and setting up a room where folks feel okay to, criticize or speak openly in a professional manner. You have to initiate and when things aren't going well, whether it was your fault or not, it was your fault, right? So just initiate conversations, initiate crucial conversations, initiate saying hello, initiate asking questions, and keep. And this is, I heard this from one of my mentors today. Keep the ball on their side, right? I mean, like when you're playing tennis or play hot potato, don't hog the conversation. Ask them questions. Okay, coach through your asking them questions, right? Because anybody can get should have to death, right? You should do this. You should do that, right? That's not being a leader. That's being a dictator. So if you ask people questions, right, and help them bring the unconscious conscious, then they will have a more buy-in, right, to the success of the next steps. Right? But that takes extreme focus and a lot of energy to be able to do that, and to when I think about some of the greatest influencers in my life, how incredible they were at asking me questions and always staying off of their own agenda and not telling me what to do was amazing. So that's a great skill, right? So really think about coaching. There's a big difference between coaching and consulting. Consulting is telling someone what to do, and coaching is to ask questions to bring the answer from within the other person. Okay, so connecting takes a lot of energy and focus. We talked about preparation, being committed to your audience, making it a safe environment, and initiating that conversation, right? Going first. Walmart has a 10-foot rule. If you're in Walmart and you're within 10 feet of anybody, they're supposed to ask you, how can I help you, right? Or have you found everything that you're looking for? Or is this your first time here? May I support you in some way? So to do that, it takes great stamina to be a great connector. So therefore, going back to it's a learned skill. You have to know yourself. You have to know how you recharge. So connectors need to find time in their schedule to either meditate, take a walk, take a run, whatever it does to recharge your own batteries, because it really consumes a lot of your energy on those days. So far we talked about 3 practices. One, most important foundation, you have to find common ground to connect with other people. 2, understand it's a learned skill. And 3, it takes energy and focus. We got 2 more to go. So being a connector is something that you live, right? It's something that you live visually, intellectually, and also emotionally, right? So we've already talked about body language. So visually, think about body language, all right? Your actions versus words. I've already gave the Ralph Waldo Emerson that your actions speak so loudly I can't hear what you say. And people see, people do what people see. So in order to you to be a great connector and influencer and leader, your walk has to match your talk. All right, so that's really important to think about. And here's an example. If the expectation is that everybody is at their door ready to go in their seats at 7:30, you as the boss can't walk in at 7:35, 7:36. Okay, that's a big piece, and then give someone a hard time for being late. All right, that's an easy example, but obviously everybody has experienced that. Intellectually, right? Think about the words that you use. All right, are you a big vocabulary person and do you speak over top of people, or are you able, as John Maxwell says, to keep the cookies on the bottom shelf, right? To just keep it simple and really, focus on the understanding of everyone. There's a lot of folks in life that I work with or work alongside, and they use these gigantic words. I just say, look at me, I was like, I got 700 on my SATs. Can you calm it down a little bit and just make sure that I'm fully aware of what you want me to do? All right, you've already got me, so just let's make sure that we have clarity when we move forward. And then something you live emotionally. This is something that I work extremely hard on, and I still have to get better at. Is my tone of voice, my face. I always look angry. Everybody says, "You look so angry." I was like, I'm just sunburned. or I'm very, very intense. I mean, whatever it is. So something you live, like, you cannot allow your emotions to dictate how other people, see you, right? So it's really, really important to take that breath, to pause and reflect, and understand what role do you have in this problem, right? So if you're having a broken relationship, that there's a broken connection, like when your cell phone just can't find or just keeps saying, can't get through. What role, you think about your side, yourself as the mixed signal, and it's your emotions that's usually causing that, right? So know how to take a time out, to take a breath, pause and reflect and move on. So far that's 4. We talked about the foundation. You must find common ground. 2, understanding it's a learned skill. 3, takes energy and focus. And 4, it's something you live. And finally, it's all about others, right? It's all about others. Connecting with other people is all about others. And so let's think about these 4 aspects. Number 1, you have to be secure to think about other people, right? You have to be secure and mature in your own understanding of yourself, right? So that's not worrying about how you can gain from every relationship. And you have to be willing to grow others, purposely growing others, add value to others. Everybody you meet is going to ask themselves 3 questions. Number 1, do you care for me? Can I trust you? And can you help me? Right? So invite feedback from other people. Very, very important to always be thinking about security. 2, humility, right? Humility. Give credit where credit is due. If you're the leader of an organization, you're the least most important person there. It's about the people on the floor. If you're a teacher, those are the ones that are carrying out day to day. It's not the principal. It's the principal's job to put you in a good position to be successful. So make sure you're giving credit. Give authority, right? Don't delegate. Give authority. Tell someone you're 100% responsible for this school improvement initiatives. I just want 33% of the input, but you give them authority. That's going to build confidence. Actively listen, and also again ask for feedback. Ask folks, your top people in your organization, hey, how am I doing as a leader? Find people that will give you honest and constructive feedback for you to be more successful. Okay, all about others. 2 more. Value people, right? It's all about valuing others. It's impossible to lead others if you don't value who they are, what they believe in. So spend time. I have a great colleague who's a consultant for our team, Bud Dingwall, who he has one-on-one lunches. He had one-on-one lunches with each of his staff every quarter, so he could really spend some one-on-one time and valuing them and having a better understanding of where they want to go 3 to 5 years down the road. And he was able to really, really help them. Be in the people business. Okay, it's not product. Always value people over products, and be a good listener. And then finally, maturity. And this is something that you have to understand. Maturity is not age. Maturity is acceptance of responsibility. So, as things don't go well in your organization, you may not have had one finger on the situation, but you are 100% responsible for it. It's accepting that responsibility, and being able to coach those individuals to get better, right? So, and all about others, about maturity. Valuing people, humility, and security. So let's just go over those 5 connectors. You're going to pick one to practice this week during your Thanksgiving week. 1 starts with a foundation. You have to find common ground. 2, it's a learned skill. 3, it takes energy and focus. 4, it's something you live. And 5, it's all about others. So, hope this added value to you. Take the time this week. I want you to post in here what's the one that you tried, this week, and how did it go. Don't forget, just start with your form: family, occupation, recreation, mission, and it'll never steer you in the wrong direction. Happy connecting, everyone.